Good afternoon, one and all. So today we are going to discuss regarding the geography current affairs. The last week current affairs, October 13 to October 19. Last week జరిగిన కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ ని ఈరోజు మనం డిస్కస్ చేయబోతా ఉన్నాము. So the most important point in the geography current affairs is last time also I have said that you should try to understand what is happening in the world. So you should be very clarity on what is happening in and around the India and at the same time in and around the world. So you try to understand the world map. So world map అనేది మనకు ultimately it is a biggest weapon for the to crack the geography current affairs because they are mostly pressing on the oceans, mostly pressing on European, African and the South American continents. So that is the case. The world map and all these places are very important while you are preparing for the geography current affairs. Apart from this, there is another part of geography current affairs is the physical geography, where they are asking regarding the some basic concepts like rainfall, precipitation. Okay, what are the basic concepts regarding latitudes and longitudes? So these kind of questions and even landslides, earthquakes, glaciers, deserts. So all this comes under the physical geography. Physical geography లో అన్నీ ఉంటాయి మనకి depositional landforms, erosional landforms. So these kind of topics are very important for the geography current affairs. So when you have a grip or when you have a basic idea on the physical geography, definitely you can easily you can understand, you can put the current affairs in a very correct manner. So today's topic is also the same thing what we have discussed just now. That is regarding the these things only. Okay. So the next today's topics of the week are Amazon rainforest serves droughts and floods. Durand Line, which is in the news between Pakistan and the Afghanistan. You know that in this week, a very big war was happened between the Pakistan militants and the Afghan Taliban. So Durand Line came into the news now. And the second thing is IMD warnings, low pressure system and the heavy rains. Okay, low pressure system and the heavy rain. So what is low pressure system? What are the conditions? What are the conditions that you should observe while it is raining? అంటే rainfall పడడానికి గల conditions ఏంటివి? So what is the characteristics of the Indian monsoon weather system? So all these things comes under the physical geography. Okay. Next important topic today is Lahul and Spiti, the first cold desert reserve in the Himachal Pradesh. So recently the government has this given a mark for the cold to have the first Lahul and Spiti has the first cold desert reserve in the Himachal Pradesh. Okay. And there are some few places in the news, that is Israel, Palestine, Gaza Strip, Venezuela and the Bay of Pigs. So this Bay of Pigs and Venezuela, they are in the news regarding the why they are in news. Tell me why they are in news. Recently the USA has started its CIA operations and they have attacked the boats of Venezuelan army in the Caribbean Sea. At the same time, the Nobel Prize winner, okay, the peace Nobel Prize under the category of peace, the lady has won. Okay, and she is belong to now Venezuela, who has strongly fought against the Nicolas Maduro theologies and Nicolas Maduro's economic policies. So that is the reason Venezuela is in news for the both the things. One is the Donald Trump and the American army is attacking the Venezuela. CIA, they are doing CIA operations and they have attacked the boats in the Caribbean Sea. Second thing, the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, so she is also hailing from Venezuela. So that is the reason Venezuela is in the news in this week. Okay, and the Bay of Pigs is also very important. So these are the basic topics of this week. So let us go in the detail. So the next one is Amazon River. Okay, Amazon rainforest, severe droughts and floods. So why it is happening? Basically, you should understand Amazon is a lungs of the earth. Okay, Amazon is nothing but it's a lungs of the earth. So what is happening in Amazon? Unfortunately, because of the climate change and because of some global warming effects, the Amazon forest is slowly depleting because of the several reasons. These kind of floods, droughts, and all these things are happening. And you know that Amazon river basin is a very largest basin. Okay, so longest river in the world is Nile. Largest river in the world is Amazon. So don't confuse between longest and the largest. Okay. Longest means it's a length. It's a length that is nothing but a Nile is the longest river in the world. Amazon is the largest. It's largest is measured in the area. It's not a kilometers or a length. Okay. So that is the case. Largest rainforest is in Amazon basin. It is in the South America only. Okay. So what happened in this week is Amazon region experiencing its most severe drought ever recorded within rivers like the Rio Negro, dropping to unprecedented levels. Okay, which is causing large scale ecological stress. Okay. So why it is happening? You know, always the Amazon forest have some of the excess of global climate changes. Sometimes they will get floods, sometimes they will get, you know, heavy rains, sometimes they will get the droughts. So why drought happens? Obviously, you know, the drought is linked to a combination of elevated Atlantic Ocean temperatures plus ongoing El Nino effect, which together are reducing the rainfall in the basin. So here the main technical word is El Nino effect. So obviously, you know, El Nino means it creates a heavy drought conditions. It creates a very less rainfall. Okay. El Nino means ENSO effect. Okay. El Nino southern oscillation. At the same time, La Nino means La Nino creates a excess of rainfall. Abundant rainfall will come and it also creates the floods. So here you should understand is the El Nino effect on the Amazon forest. So when you look at the Amazon basin, when you look at the Amazon basin, this is Amazon basin. This is completely, it is a Amazon basin. Okay. So here, this is entire thing is nothing but a Atlantic Ocean east side. This is Pacific Ocean. Okay. This is Pacific Ocean and this is Atlantic Ocean. Okay. So what happened here for the Amazon? This coastal area, the Atlantic coastal area has become a El Nino. Okay. So is this a warm current or a cold current? Okay, this you know, this is called as a Peruvian current. A Peruvian current is a cold ocean current is replacing by the warm ocean current. Then what happens? El Nino will occur. Okay, so what is the main concept of El Nino? Cold ocean current and the warm ocean current. One thing you remember, how to remember cold ocean current and warm ocean current. ఇది అందరికి ఒక డౌట్ ఉంటుంది. So how to remember? Simple thing, you remember western coast of continents. Western coast of continents అన్నీ కూడా they are cold ocean currents. Eastern coast of continents all the warm ocean currents. So that is the reason cold ocean currents ఉన్న దగ్గర మనకి rains పడవు. Reason is because of there are several reasons are there. So that is the reason El Nino effect will be there. At the same time, the deserts. When you look at world deserts, Gobi Desert, Thar Desert, Sahara Desert, Atacama Desert, okay, all these California desert కూడా ఉంది మనకు అమెరికాలో. So when you look at all these kind of deserts, they are located in the western coast of the continents, not on the eastern coast of the continents. So eastern coast of the continents అన్ని కూడా they are the part of warm ocean current. So that is the reason you can expect the rainfalls in the eastern coast of the continents. So ఇక్కడ మనకి ఏమవుతుంది ఇక్కడ El Nino effect is happening on the eastern coast. So that is the reason Atlantic Ocean. Okay. The drought is linked to a combination of elevated Atlantic Ocean temperatures plus ongoing El Nino effect. Generally, El Nino effect ఎప్పుడు రావాలి? Western coast దగ్గరికి రావాలి. Okay. The Peruvian current is to be replaced by the warm ocean current. Then El Nino effect will happen. At the same time, Atlantic Ocean temperatures are increasing more than their required temperatures. Automatically, what happens? The drought-like conditions will occur. Okay. So Amazon River Basin. So you can see in this picture that is completely Amazon River Basin. Okay. It comprises of Brazil, okay, Venezuela, Ecuador, okay, Peru, and all these countries it is going to cover in the South American continent. Okay, you can see a lot of different kind of wildlife biosphere is there. Okay, anacondas, different kind of extensive biosphere species are there in the Amazon River Basin. Okay, so just now I have said that Amazon is affecting with the most severe drought. So if Amazon is affected by severe drought, you can imagine how come a big disaster or what kind of an impact it is going to show on the South American continent. Okay. The result includes increased wildfires and serious impact on indigenous communities depending on the river systems. Indigenous communities అంటే ఎవరు వస్తారు ఇక్కడ? Amazonians. Amazonians. ఓకే. ఇప్పుడు మన డొనాల్డ్ ట్రంప్ ఉన్నాడు కదా! డొనాల్డ్ ట్రంప్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఎన్ అమెరికన్. ఓకే. అమె నేటివ్ అమెరికన్స్ అని ఉంటారు మనకు. Donald Trump is from Switzerland. Okay, his family, his ancestors are from the European continent. He is not a origin of America. But who is origin of America? Amazonians. Okay, these people are Native Americans where they have spread into the Canada, America at those time. Okay, so Amazonians are the native indigenous communities who are still dependent on the river systems. Okay, so they are going to affect, and at the same time wildfires also going to increase. You can see here a lot of wildfires are there. Okay, wildfire ఒకసారి అమెజాన్ లో వైల్డ్ ఫైర్ అయింది అంటే you can imagine the lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of trees are going to cut off. Okay, so this is one of the biggest disaster. So why it is matters, that is very important. Amazon basin is a majorly hydrological system. Just now we have discussed drops in river levels indicate shifts in water balance, precipitation patterns and the vegetation stress. So what kind of vegetation stress is there in again in Africa, South America? Amazon river అంటే అన్ని వస్తాయి మనకి. సౌత్ అమెరికాలో ఉన్న కంట్రీస్, వార్మ్ ఓషన్ కరెంట్, కోల్డ్ ఓషన్ కరెంట్, వాట్ ఆర్ ద కమ్యూనిటీస్, వాట్ ఆర్ దేర్ అమెజోనియన్ కమ్యూనిటీ ఉంటారు అక్కడ. ఓకే, so vegetation means what kind of a vegetation you can see there? Prairies, okay, downs in Australia, wells in South America. So wells, nothing but a wells. Okay, these kind of vegetation you can see this word you can see in the NCERT's geography. Okay, vegetation అంటే మనకి సౌత్ అమెరికాలో వచ్చేది wells. Okay, downs in Australia, savanna in Africa, okay, steppes in Asia, prairies in North America. So 7 continents, so we have a 7 different kind of a vegetation. So here you can see the wells type of vegetation is purely dependent on the Amazon river. Okay, so look at key rivers, drought zones, hotspots like a physical geography with human impact. Obviously the human impact is also going to play a very severely when Amazon is affected. Okay, next topic is Durand Line Clashes between Pakistan and the Afghanistan. So here we have some lines are there. Okay, Red Cliff border is between Pakistan and India. Okay, Red Cliff border is between Pakistan and India. At the same time with India and Bangladesh. India and Bangladesh kuda manaki Red Cliff border. Okay, so which army is going to monitor this Red Cliff line? Which army? It is BSF, Border Security Force. And China to manakundi, that is called as a McMahon line. What the line we have between India and China, that is McMahon line, and which is monitored by the ITBP, Indo-Tibetan Border Forces. Okay, the border police, Indo-Tibetan Border Police. We call them as a Indo-Tibetan Border Police. Okay, these people are going to monitor the India and China border. Okay, so what is happening here? Durand line is between Pakistan and the Afghanistan. So obviously you know Afghanistan వచ్చింది కాబట్టి చెప్పాలి. Afghanistan is one of the landlocked country that you should remember, and the most important places in the Afghanistan are Panjshir Valley, Kabul. Okay, and Afghanistan is playing a very key role in the INSTC. INSTC. What is the meaning of INSTC? India International North South Transit Corridor. Okay, so Afghanistan landlocked కాబట్టి వాళ్ళకి మనకు సీ కోస్ట్ కి మనము వాళ్ళకి యాక్సెస్ లేదు కాబట్టి India has given a friendship treaty between India, Afghanistan and Iran, and it is going far towards the Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan by INSTC, International North South Transit Corridor. Okay, so Afghanistan plays a very key role in INSTC. At the same time, our Indian government has constructed a Salma Dam. What is the dam name? Salma Dam, which was constructed in the Afghanistan, okay, by the India-Afghanistan Friendship Treaty. Okay. Second important point, third important, first important is INSTC, second is Salma Dam, and third is the Afghanistan Parliament is also constructed by the our Indian government itself. Okay. So Taliban has entered into Afghanistan in the year 2021. From 2021, the Taliban has take over the complete Afghanistan country. Okay. So these are the basic things you should understand regarding Afghanistan, because the clashes are between Pakistan and Afghanistan కాబట్టి ఈ క్వశ్చన్స్ అన్ని రావచ్చు. ఓకే. So what happened means cross-border clashes along the Durand Line between Pakistan and Afghanistan, where unfortunately they killed over 80 soldiers on both the sides. Okay. Recently, the Muttaki, the name is called as Muttaki, who is dealing with the external affairs in the way from the Taliban camp. He came to India recently and he made the Jai Shankar. Okay. So the Durand Line was originally demarcated during British colonial times and continues to be disputed by the Afghanistan. Okay, and another important historical current affair is British has taken over Afghanistan with the Treaty of Gandamak. Okay, the Treaty of Gandamak. Treaty of Gandamak. Okay, so these things are very much important. Okay. Treaty of Gandamak is very important. Okay. Where British has completely taken over the Afghanistan territory. సో ఇక్కడ మనకి ఏమేమి వచ్చినాయి? INSTC వచ్చింది, and BSF has came, Salma Dam, Parliament, and the Treaty of Gandamak. So these are the 5 points which are related to the Pakistan, Afghanistan, and the India. Okay, geographical significance is very important. Okay, at the same time, the Panjshir Valley is a very powerful valley within the Afghanistan. Okay, and there it is a very beautiful country where you can have the Hindu Kush and Hinduraj mountains are there in the Afghanistan. Okay, Karakoram Pass. Okay, desert zones like Rajasthan and strategic passes like Khyber Pass is also very geographical significance is there. Okay, so here you can see in the map regarding the these things. Okay, the India, Afghanistan, and the China map, and even Pakistan is also there. So see here, this entire region is called as an Afghanistan. Okay, this entire region is Afghanistan, where you can see the Kandahar. Kandahar is long back ago it is a part of a Indo-Greek. Okay, Indo-Greek invasions లో మనకి కాందహార్ అనేది వస్తుంది. Okay, and from Afghanistan itself we have got Gandhara School of Art. Okay, Kabul is there here. So the main river in the Afghanistan is Kabul River. Okay, the river itself is a Kabul River is there. Okay, and the Afghanistan is a landlocked boundary where they have a borders between Iran, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and the Tajikistan. Okay, and even the Pakistan. And you can see here, Afghanistan and India has a border. Okay, Afghanistan India ku border ఉంటుంది, that is of 72 kilometers. Don't confuse. India has also a border with Afghanistan, which is 72 kilometers. Okay, and this is a uh, least border country with India. Okay, which is the highest border country with India? It is Bangladesh with a 4,000 kilometers, and Afghanistan has a 72 kilometers, which is a less boundary country. Okay, so this region is called as a Panjshir Valley. This region is completely a Panjshir Valley, where you can see here. Okay, and this red color line is nothing but a Durand line between Afghanistan and the Pakistan. Okay, so Afghanistan they don't have access to Arabian Sea, so that is the reason we are far away going from the Iran via Iran by subjugating the Pakistan because Pakistan has the enmity between Iran and the Afghanistan. So that is the case. We made a friendship with Iran and Afghanistan. Okay. In Iran, we have a Chabahar port. From that port, we are moving towards the north, like Iran and Afghanistan. We are entering into like this. Okay. Next topic is IMD warnings, low pressure system and the heavy rains. So what is meant by IMD? Indian Meteorological Department. It is completely owned by the government of India, which was established in the year 1875. Okay, it is established in the year 1875. IMD. Apart from IMD, one another startup company has entered into the weather reporting, and that name is called as SkyMet. Okay, try to remember SkyMet. Okay, SkyMet is a company which is based, I think it is Hyderabad based startup company where they are monitoring the entire weather and they are also giving the reports on it. So this is the first private startup company entered into the weather reporting. Okay, that name is SkyMet. So what is happening here? IMD is warning low pressure systems and the heavy rainfall. So what are the characteristics of rainfall basically? Okay, vertical wind system. Okay, rain bearing systems are there. Okay, less Coriolis forces. Okay, low pressure system. So all these are the characteristics of the rainfall. Okay. So what IMD is warning is Southeastern Arabian Sea, Lakshadweep region, and another expected to form the over the southeastern Bay of Bengal around October 21st, 2025. Okay. So for the Bay of Bengal system, heavy to very heavy rainfall expected in districts of coastal Andhra Pradesh and Rayalaseema, and for Arabian Sea, yellow alert for Maharashtra, Western Ghats, and the Karnataka, Konkan, and Goa. See, one thing you remember, every October in India, you are going to have the cyclones. Reason is simple, because the southwest monsoons are going after towards coming back from the India, and northeastern monsoon are going to take up from the October or November. So that is the case. They are going to create a heavy cyclones. Okay. What are the geography and implications means? If there is a heavy rainfall is there on the Western Ghats and Konkan region, what happens? It is going to lead to the landslides and even the droughts also. Okay, if excess of landslides, yesterday also the Idukki in Kerala, you can see the heavy rainfall has poured and completely there is a huge landslides are occurring in the Kerala. Okay, the next important thing is that the path of such system matters. Okay, tracking west northwards from Bay of Bengal can mean movement across peninsular India or skirting along the coast. Okay, monsoon withdrawal and the subsequent post monsoon low pressure development. So this is also one of the important. Okay, so what is happening in the entire world is Atlantic meridional overturning circulation is happening. So what is AMOC? Atlantic meridional overturning circulation. So what is happening is, generally you know the circle. Okay, what is meant by circle? Pre-monsoons. Okay, monsoonal season is going to start, and in between the rains are going to stop, and finally they are going to draw back. Okay, withdrawal of the monsoon. Okay, so this is generally a cycle. So what is happening here is Atlantic meridional overturning circulation is happening in the entire world. So because of these kind of a overturning circulations, frequent floods and frequent cyclones are affected. You can see in the India from the last, I think from last 3 to 4 years, you can see this kind of a system is there. Okay, we are getting a lot of cyclones. In September, we have got a cyclone. In October, we are getting the cyclone. In the June, July also, we are getting a cyclones. So the main reason is Atlantic meridional overturning circulations. Okay. So the low pressure system is always being formed in the particularly in the India Bay of Bengal and even in the Arabian seas also. And you can see here the main technological point: atmospheric front, cold front, and a warm front. Okay, the two there we have three fronts are there: cold front, warm front, and the stationary front. Okay, so this is cold front and this is a warm front. Okay, so warm fronts create a excess of rainfalls. Okay, cold front here you can see the warm air is going upwards Okay, the direction of the cold front, cold air is in a straight manner. So this is nothing but a cold front, and this is nothing but a warm front. Next important topic is India's Lahul and Spiti, Laholi and Spiti, Himachal Pradesh first cold desert biosphere reserve. Okay. So what is the main thing in the Lahul and Spiti? These are the two subdivisions. These are also two sub-district divisions of the Himachal Pradesh state. Okay. So what is there in the Lahul and Spiti means they are the first cold desert biosphere reserve. Okay. You know the main important thing is Ladakh. Ladakh is the first cold desert in India. Ladakh is the first cold desert. First cold desert in India. But the cold desert biosphere reserve is the first is Lahore and the Spiti. Okay. So what is the important here is the region between Lahore and Spiti in Himachal Pradesh has been designated as India's first high altitude cold desert biosphere reserve. So what are the why it is created as a biosphere reserve means you can see n number of species, particularly plant species. At the same time, the flora and the fauna species are there. Okay, you can see here Himalayan ibex, Tibetan wolf, red fox, snow leopards. Okay, cold desert ecology and even different kind of Ayush type of medicines are also there. Okay, so that is the reason it was created as a biosphere reserve. Okay, so one thing you should remember what is meant by cold desert, what is hot desert, and what is cold desert. So, what is hot desert? What is meant by hot desert? Hot desert, you know that hot deserts are located on the western coast of the continent. So, when you look at the India also, you can see the hot desert is located on the western coast of the Rajasthan state, western part of the Rajasthan state. So what is happening here means what is a desert basically? It is not a cold or a hot, but what is a desert means less than 10 centimeters of rainfall per year. Then you call it as a desert. A desert occurs when there is a very scanty rainfall with less than 10 centimeters of a rainfall per year. So then that place is called it as a desert area. Okay. So you can see the hot deserts. You can see the hot deserts. Jaisalmer is there. Okay. In Rajasthan, Jaisalmer is there. Ajmer, Jaisalmer. So all these places comes under the hot desert. Sahara Desert. Okay. At the same time, the Atacama Desert, Gobi Desert. These all comes under the hot desert. So what is my cold desert means? Cold desert is also in the same way like this. Cold desert is the same way in such a way. You can see entire land is with covered with the snow, but there is no rainfall. There is no rainfall, and the climate will be very dry. Though it may be a snow, the climate will be very dry. So when you go to Ladakh, you can easily travel by the bike riding. Okay, rather than car, you can go the Ladakh by bike driving. Okay, why bike driving is very important in Ladakh means because of this terrain, marshy and hot lands. Okay, so that is the reason you can see there is a heavy sunset is there, sunfall is there. At the same time, sunrise will be there. At also same time, there is a very snow is also there. So that is the call that we call it as a cold desert. Okay, you can see in the Ladakh and Lahore and Spiti, those are all are the part of the Greater Himalayan range itself. Okay. So what is the significance means cold desert regions are rare in India. The elevation, spares, vegetation, snow cover, rock terrain define such ecosystems. So cold deserts are very rare basically. Okay. There is this desert ecosystem is also there. What is meant by desert ecosystem? You can see the xerophytic plants. Okay. Xerophytic plants and lion dates. There are some date type of food and crops are also there. So that are also very important in the during the in the hot deserts. But in cold desert, you can see the coniferous forest. Okay, here the another important word comes here, the coniferous forest. Coniferous forests ante they are going to you can see those forests in the upper areas. Okay, for example, there is a hill like structure is there like this. These kind of forest you can see here, these kind of a forest we call it as a coniferous forest. All the pine type of trees are present in the coniferous forest. This is a complete Himalayan uh, zone. You can see here different kind of coniferous forest you can see. So that is nothing but a vegetation you can find in the cold desert. So what are the things you can find here? Herbals, medicinal plants. At the same time, the fauna, particularly the snow leopard, okay, ibex, the buffaloes, different kind of things you can see in the Lahul and Spiti subdivision. So another important point in the here is Chandratal. The lake Chandratal is very important. You can see here. This is a fresh water lake in the Ladakh cold desert. This is the fresh water lake in the Ladakh cold desert. Okay, the name is called as Chandratal Lake. Okay, this is very important lake. We have two freshwater lakes and we have two saltwater lakes. What are the two freshwater lakes we have? Dal Lake and the Ular Lake. Dal and Ular are the two freshwater lakes. Okay. And two saltwater lakes are there in the Ladakh. Okay. And another, this is Chandratal. This is also one of the freshwater lake in the Ladakh. And another important places in this week news are Israel and Palestine. Obviously, you know the 20-point Gaza peace plan. What is that? 20-point Gaza peace plan. 20-point Gaza peace plan was made by the Donald Trump in the Egypt. All the leaders, all the world leaders, they have sat in the Sharm el Sheikh. There is a place called as Sharm el Sheikh in the Egypt where they have completely made the 20-point Gaza peace plan. So because of this Gaza peace plan, you can see in the news Israel and the Palestine. Okay. So here one thing you should remember, Israel and Palestine, these places have repeatedly asked in the examinations. Okay. Even in UPSC and even the state public service commissions also, these places are very important because these are very small places. So that is the reason they are asking you as in a tricky manner. So what you should observe here is, you can see here Israel and Palestine. One thing you should remember, there is a no country called as a Palestine. Okay, there is no such kind of a country called as Palestine is there in the world map. There is only a country called as Israel is there. Before 1948, before 1947, the entire this area, this red color is this area we call it as a Palestine, and their capital is Ramallah. Okay, or it is called as a Jerusalem is also there. But unfortunately, what happened after 1948, there was a huge migration of the Jews who came into the Palestine territory and they have occupied the Gaza Strip, okay, West Bank, and even the these kind of things, okay, Golan Heights. So these kind of different places they have occupied, and you know all the story. All four wars was fought by the Israel. Israel was as Egypt. Israel was as all these Saudi countries, Gulf countries were also fought against Israel, but ultimately the Israel has won all the wars. Okay, so there is a different kind of peace plans are there. Yom Kippur plans are also there. All this comes under the part of the Israel and Palestine. So what you should remember as a geography is, see here there are three countries are there. One is Syria is there, Jordan is there, Lebanon is there, and this entire red color is called as Israel. Okay, this red entire is Israel. The what is this gap? This gap we call it as a Dead Sea. What we call it as a gap called as Dead Sea. Okay, and here it is a the west coast of the Israel is Mediterranean Sea. So this is completely a Dead Sea where you can see 340 ppms of the salt content. So when you jump into the Dead Sea, you can easily float. You can't డ్రిప్ ఇంటూ ది సీ అంటే దాంట్లో మీరు మునగరు మంచిగా తేలుతారనమాట డెడ్ సీ మీద పడుకుంటే ఓకే క్యాన్ యూ స్లీప్ ఇన్ ఆన్ ది డెడ్ సీ యూ కాంట్ ఈవెన్ స్లీప్ బికాస్ the thing what we are eating, the salt, everyday salt, it is not nothing but a 35 ppm, but you can expect 340 ppm means your tongue is going to cut because of such kind of a huge, heavy saltish, and your body, the blood vessels are also going to damage because of that kind of too saltiness. So that is the case. Nobody will going to float on the Dead Sea. It's very very danger, and you can't even experience that kind of a saltiness you can see in the Dead Sea. Okay, so what you should remember is Jordan is a landlocked country. Okay, you remember Jordan is a landlocked country. The capital city of Jordan is Amman, Amman. The capital of Jordan is Amman. Okay, the above the first country comes under is they are asking north to south in the examinations. You try to concentrate. The first country is Lebanon. Okay, next comes under the Israel. Okay, this kind of structure is there. No, this is nothing but a Israel. Okay, so Israel has occupied three places. What are those? Golan Heights, West Banks, and the Gaza. I will tell you, Israel has captured Gaza. This Gaza from the Egypt. Okay. Try to write here. Israel occupied Gaza from the Egypt. Okay. Golan Heights. There is another place called as Golan Heights. ఇవన్నీ మనకు పేపర్ లో వస్తాయి. Okay, these are the places always repeat in the paper. You try to understand. Golan Heights they took from the Syria. Okay, Golan Heights they took from the Syria. And another important place is West Bank. West Bank they have taken from the what? West Bank they have taken from the Jordan country. So ఈ మూడు places ని వాళ్ళు తీసేసుకున్నారు. This Gaza, West Bank and the Golan Heights from the Syria. This is nothing but a Golan Heights. Golan Heights from the Syria. So this is Syria country. ఇక్కడ నుండి ఇక్కడ నుంచి త్రీ ప్లేసెస్ తీసుకోవడంతో అల్టిమేట్లీ దే ఫార్మ్డ్ ది ఎ బిగ్ టెరిటరీ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ఇజ్రాయెల్. ఓకే, సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద ప్లేసెస్ యూ కెన్ రిమెంబర్. వెస్ట్ బ్యాంక్, లెబనాన్, ఇజ్రాయెల్, ఈజిప్ట్ ఆల్సో. ఈజిప్ట్ ఆల్సో హ్యావ్ ది బార్డర్ విత్ ది మెడిటరేనియన్ సీ. ఓకే, and Philadelphia and the Rafah corridor. This is also in the news. This is also part of the this thing. This is also one of the part of uh, Israel and Palestine issue. So what is Rafah corridor? There is a two corridors are there, Rafah, Jaffa. Okay, Jaffa means it's not a bad word. Jaffa is a place in the Syria, and Rafah is also place in the uh, Israel. So what happened here is this is called a Rafah corridor, and this is called a Jaffa corridor. Okay, Israel northern part we call it as Jaffa, and in the Israel southern part we call it as the Rafah corridor. So what is this corridor means? These corridor plays a very crucial role to allow the medical supplies for the Palestine people or the Syria people. Okay, so if this corridor is going to close, ultimately the Israel is going to stop their uh, goods and services from the rest of the world. So that is the case. This Philadelphia corridor is very important. You can see here a corridor is there, that is nothing but a Rafah. So in based on the 20-point Gaza peace plan, this Rafah corridor was opened by the Israel to allow the lot of medical supplements and the all these things to the these people. Okay, Syria ki Jordan wall ante Israel Dari. So that is the reason Israel plays a very, very crucial role, and they are very strategic persons. Why? Because they know that they are the main persons who are going to allow the medical supplies and all the food supplies to the northern countries. So Israel is also placed like a main gate to enter into the Syria and the other North Middle East countries. Okay, so that is the reason you can see here. So Rafah corridor is very important because this Rafah corridor, when it is opened, then it can connect the rest of the world. When it is closed, it is going to disconnect the entire world from the Middle Eastern countries. Okay, so that is the reason this Rafah corridor is very important. Next is Bay of Pigs. Okay, so why it is in news? Just now I have said recently the America CIA operations, they have started CIA operations, Chief Intelligence Agency, nothing but CIA. It is like a RAW for India or research and analysis wing. So what RAW will do, they will directly attack the enemy nations without any informing the government of India, just for on the basis of the uh, nation interest. So exactly the American administration, they have attacked the boats which are belong to Venezuela, okay, in the Caribbean Sea. So when you take a newspaper and you start reading regarding the last 2 days, before 2 days జరిగిన అంతా కూడా, it is part of the Caribbean Sea only. Okay. So here the Bay of Pix is there between Havana, Cuba, and Guantanamo Bay. You know, there is North America, there is South America. There is also another America is there, that is nothing but a Central America. చాలా మందికి తెలియదు సెంట్రల్ అమెరికా అనేది కూడా మనకు ఉంది. So what are the countries in Central America means it is between these countries are between North and the South America. Okay, these countries are all are the island nations where they are situated nearby the Mexico. That is nothing but Cuba, Havana, okay, Guatemala. Okay, so these kind of countries, they are called as a pure Central American countries. Okay, so ఈ Central American countries లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారు అంటే, these people they are going to Mexico. From Mexico, they are going towards the America illegally. So that is the reason Trump has always warned that I am going to construct a wall on the Mexico America border. Reason is the lot of illegal migrants, they are moving towards the America with the way of Central American రూట్స్. సో అక్కడ మనకి ఏముందంటే బే ఆఫ్ పిక్స్ అనే ఒక ప్లేస్ ఉంటుందన్నమాట. సో దిస్ ప్లేస్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్, వేర్ ఇన్ 1971 వేర్ అమెరికా హ్యాస్ అటాక్డ్ ది వెనిజులా అండ్ దే హావ్ ఆల్సో కిల్డ్ ది డిక్టేటర్ ఆఫ్ వెనిజులా. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ ద బే ఆఫ్ పిక్స్ ప్లేస్ ఏ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ రోల్. ఓకే, సింప్లీ యూ రిమెంబర్ వేర్ ఈస్ బే ఆఫ్ పిక్స్ మీన్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ బిట్వీన్ క్యూబా అండ్ ది హవానా. ఓకే, so apart from this also you should remember the South American map. This is South American map. You remember Brazil. You can see Brazil is the fifth largest country in the world. Okay, India is which largest country? Number seventh largest. Okay, India is second populous country according to the population. Geographically, India is the seventh largest country. Okay, Brazil is fifth largest country. Here you can see Brazil have almost all the countries borders in the South America except with the Ecuador and Chile. Except with Ecuador and Chile, all the countries the Brazil has the borders. Okay, so this is Venezuela. Okay, this entire region we call it as a South America. Okay, South American politics, basically when you come to polity, South American politics are basically dominated by the communist parties. Okay, there is a lot of socialistic principles are there. You know, the Che Guevara, who is a very familiar from Argentina and Colombia. At the same time, Nicolas Maduro, who is the present prime minister of Venezuela. Okay, so all these are the communist agencies. Okay, so here you can see the Suriname, Guyana, and the French Guyana. So these countries are also very important. They may ask in you the examination. Here there is a place called as Guyana, Suriname, and the French Guyana. Okay, and even for India, మన ఇండియాకి సౌత్ అమెరికాకి ఏం సంబంధము అంటే, India have a energy relation, strategic energy corridors, and India have a very best energy relations with the Venezuela, because we are importing the lot of oil and lot of fuel supply from the Venezuelan markets. Okay, at the same time, India started the National Critical Minerals Mission, NCMM. Okay, national critically what are critical minerals? Lead, zinc, and different kind of minerals are there. 31 critical minerals are there. So you can see here Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. We call it as a which triangle? Copper. We call them as a copper triangle or a cone-shaped countries. Okay, this is a cone-shaped countries. You can see Chile, Bolivia, and the Argentina. So these three countries we call them it as a copper triangle, where you can find easily a huge copper and a lot of mineral sources are there in the South America. Okay, so that is the reason South America map is very important. Try to look after the South American map. Okay, this is Falkland Islands. Okay, this is also Falkland Islands. This is very important. And here the Amazon basin is there. South American vegetation is dominated by the wells. Okay, the uh, native communities in South America, Brasilia, Amazonia, and all these things are there. Okay, so this is regarding this week's current affairs. So try to understand the news at the same time. Try to focus majorly on the physical geography, which is very important. So when you focus on physical geography, obviously you can attempt the physical geography bits at the same time. You can also easily attempt the current affairs. Okay, so these are the major topics in this week. So we are going to meet the next week. Thank you.